Hi there guys, Al here from Grumpy Grognard Gaming, and bit of Trench Crusade content. The Pledge Manager is going live very soon, so we're going to be able to get some lovely models. I wanted to do like a showcase of all the renders that they've showed off, but I thought, let's do something a bit more fun than that. So I'm going to do a tier listing. This is the first tier listing I've ever done. I've not done this kind of thing before, so bear with me. I'm going to go through each of these model faction focuses that they did on the Kickstarter. I'm just going to rank them, and just bear in mind that my taste might not be the same as your tastes, opinions vary, that kind of stuff. If you think that I've got something wrong, or if you disagree, that's what the comment section's for, just be nice. So let's get stuck in. So first of all, we've got Sniper Priest from New Antioch, and this is a nice model. I think this is pretty good. It's got a pre sort of shallow drilled barrel. Nice move. I don't see any problems here from a 3D printing perspective. I think this is going to print really nicely. I think this is a nice characterful model. Obviously he's blindfolded, he doesn't need his eyes. He's directed by the Metachrist. Yeah, I think this is a really nice model. I know it's quite up there at sort of like top tier. You'll notice I've also only done 4 tiers. I can't be asked with having more than that. It's going to be hard enough to choose between them as it is. I'm going to put this in B. I think this is a nice characterful model. Next up, we've got the Hell Knights from the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent. This will probably be my chosen faction, but I'm not going to show bias. But at the same time, these are awesome. These look so good. Absolutely amazing models. As soon as I saw them, I was just like, yeah, I need these. These are going to be painted up with rusted metals and then blood encrusted, and then just going to look grimdark as fuck. So I cannot put these anywhere apart from A tier. Okay, next after that, we've got the Lieutenant of New Antioch. Now this is a nice model. This is really nice. Done directly off of Mike Crancina's artwork. You see that it's almost an exact match. I think it shows off that kind of new knightly World War I mix really well. Almost like archetypical of it, I think. Nice, not dramatic pose, but sort of a statement pose. Your lieutenant just ready for battle, but observing his troops. This is also going in B. There he goes. So next up after that, we've got the Yeoman of New Antioch. Now I converted some of these out of War Games Atlantic's bits. They turned out alright. They're not quite as unified as these. They do look like sort of decent kick bashes, but these are quite nice. I think the kind of way that they've been made all as one piece works against them a little bit. I predict, especially with the 3D printing, there might be some sort of undercuts and stuff, and they might not. In some ways, I actually prefer what I have kit bashed with these ones. So I'm actually going to put these in C. We've got the Chorister from the Heretic Legion, and yeah, this is a pretty great model. I mean, I again kit bashed one of these out of like a GW priest of some description. I think it was from the Cities of Sigmar line, but I don't think I managed to do it quite as well as this. At the same time, I will say that there's some a kind of a lack of definition around where the hand is holding the hair, and maybe a paint job will make it better. But this is one of the ones that I think maybe didn't come out quite as well as the artwork. And again, I don't think this is that great. I mean, I've seen some painted versions that look nicer, but at the same time, yeah, I think this has got to go and C as well, which is a shame because the artwork is absolutely incredible. So next up after that, we have the Desecrated Saint. Now, I would like to see more angles on this, because this looks like an absolutely batshit crazy model, and it's hard to see exactly what's going on from this one angle. One thing I do wonder about this is how the hell this is going to 3D print. I mean, just look at these chains and the arm coming across with the sword. And although they've shown off that the resin is resilient, I do look at this and I'm like, if these chains aren't separate pieces, which makes them really fiddly, I don't know how many of these I can see getting through intact. Very ambitious 3D print. I presume they've done some already. But as far as the model goes, I think it's pretty good. I think it's, again, maybe one that you need to see painted. I'm not entirely sure on a lot of these bits and pieces. I think maybe, because again, it's like a direct copy of the artwork. I'm thinking that maybe some artistic license would have been an idea here to allow for the model itself. But it is undeniably impressive. So I'm going to put this one, I think, in B. Very, very cool kit, but I'm interested to see how it works from a technical perspective. So next up, we've got the Sorcerer from the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent. Again, this is an amazing model. I really do think so. Direct copy of Mike's artwork. Looks great. Don't see any bits here that are going to be problems to 3D print. You know, throwing devil's horns, metal as fuck, grimdark as fuck. Looks awesome. Seeing it painted, really, really nice model. Unlike anything that GW would ever touch in a million years, this guy is going to A tier. Okay, next up we've got the Corpse Guard from the Black Grail. Now this is a little bit of a hard one to judge, to be honest, because you've got two models here, one of which I think is very, very good, and one of which I think is, it's alright, not great. In case you were wondering, it's the guy on the right that I think is really, really nice, and the guy on the left I think is a little bit, it's alright, it's just kind of looks Nurgle plus. You might want to see a doctor about that great big tumor on the side of his head. Again, more angles might have helped. I think like the guy on the right is like an obvious B or an A tier for me. The guy on the left is like a C. So I think what we'll do is we'll split the difference on these guys, and I will put them in B. But I don't know how that guy does. You know what? I'm going to put them in B. I might rethink that at some point, but I think I'm going to put them in B for now. Right, next along we have got these guys, the Yoke Fiends from the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent. They're okay. They look a bit flat. I don't know if that's just lack of paint job, and I am going just on these renders. That's all I can go on. But they look okay, but they also look a little bit generic to my mind. Like the shield's nice. It's got the the symbol on there, but this axe looks a little bit uninspired, and yeah, I'm not really feeling it on these ones. Got to be honest. I think they're going in C. Yeah, C for that one. Not great. I mean, they're okay, but I can't say I'm blown away. Right, next up, we've got the Grail Hounds from the Black Grail. So, back to the Nurgle-ish, but Nurgle that GW would never touch in a million years kind of idea. These guys are disgusting. Everything from the sack, which is like a bright, horrible red in Mike's artwork, to the kind of noses, snouts. Yeah, these guys are great. I will put them in B though, because I do kind of feel like they could be a bit more, but they're certainly pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, next up we get to the Sultanate of the Iron Wall, and this is a sapper. And these guys are great. The more I look at these, the more I'm like, because originally I was like, yeah, I don't see the point. But the more I look at these guys, the Sultanate, I'm like, yeah, I think this might have to be done. Lovely model, understated. It's not like overly blinged and stuff. I can't put it in A. There's just not enough to it. But I mean, that helmet's really cool, and yeah, it's going in B. It's going in B. It's pretty damn cool. Right. Next up, we've got the heavy mech infantry from New Antioch. Now these guys, I mean, this would be one of the poster boys if you was to pick something for Trench Crusade. You could say it's almost like their Space Marine equivalent, but bigger, I suppose, in comparison to everything else. Very nice model. You've got some like pock marks on the armour and stuff like that. Again, can be fun to paint up. Chuck a load of streaking grime all over that bad boy, and it's going to look super grimdark. Again, I don't think I could put in A tier. I think you need something special to be an A tier. Even on this reduced tiering from me. But I'm going to put it in B. Next up, we've got the Shock Troopers of New Antioch. These look pretty cool. Yeah, these are nice. Again, I converted something very, very similar to this out of Wargames Atlantic's bits. A lot of variation between, obviously this is a skirmish game, so you don't need to have all the same weapons and stuff. So you've got this guy over, almost like a Tommy gun type thing. Just go one shouldered, throwing a grenade. This guy with a greatsword, because, like, screw you, sort of Mad Jock. Is it Mad Jock style? So that guy ran into the bloody... He did the water landing with a greatsword, because he was mental. This guy aiming... Yeah, these are perfectly fine. I don't think there's any problems with these. I think these are very nice models. Again, even though they could have used stock, sort of frames and just reused them and stuff, they haven't. You've got unique models here. These are going in B. Most of the stuff's going to be going in B, I'm not going to lie. Right, what's next? The Stigmatic Nun, the first of two from the Trench Pilgrims. This is the one who is decided to go for more armour than the one who's decided to go a little bit more sort of with everything a bit more al fresco. This is nice. I think this is really, really nice. I don't think she needs to have her chebs out to be a superb model. I think this is really sort of evocative of what Trench Crusade is going for. Again, I think she's going to paint really nicely up. Just some nice, not even high metallics, but she'll just give it a sort of a beaten steel look. Chuck some blood and grime and everything all over. I think that's going to look fantastic. I think this is a really evocative model as far as the models for Trench Crusade goes, and she is going in A tier. Next up, we've got the old Expendables, the Ecclesiastic Prisoners. Games Workshop took the penal legions and the human bombs out of their codex because it might scare off little Jimmy and his parents. Trench Crusade just goes better. These guys are designed to explode, and if they don't, then they don't. These are great. Again, very evocative. Two different poses. I think these are awesome. This nails the grimdark, doesn't it? It really does. And got the helmet on. Then we can see their faces, and they're kind of running in suicide bomber type things. Detonate for the Metachrist. Yeah, they're awesome. They're going in A tier, I think. I think they've got to go in A tier. They look so awesome. Right, next up we've got looks like a quarter serpent thing. There we go. No, it's the Black Grail. Plague Knight from the Black Grail. I think this is probably one of the best looking Black Grail models. Really like it. It's got that vaguely insectoid type thing going on, but in a humanoid shape and a humanoid silhouette. The cape on the back, and they're actually wings, like folded wings. Yeah, they are. I can see them in that picture. They're folded wings. That looks really cool. I really like this model. Although it's probably not quite good enough for A tier, that's where I'm going to put it anyway, because it's my tier listing. And I do think that one is a really evocative, cool looking piece. Next up, we've got the Artillery Witch. This is one of the first things that we saw. I think it's one of the ones they did in the previous Kickstarter, and I did a more simplified version of that. And I kind of preferred it in some ways. I think I preferred the old one, I think this one's got a little bit too much going on. It's nice, but yeah, you know what? I think I actually preferred the old one on this. I think I got an STL that I printed off, and I think I preferred that one as well. It's a lot more simple, a lot less going on. Sometimes less is more. I might get disagreed on this one, but I'm putting this one in C. For the record, I probably should have taken D off. I don't think any of these are going to end up in D. There's a couple I don't like so much, but I don't think I dislike them that much. What's next? This looks like Antioch, dude. The Castigator from the Trench Pilgrims. This is a really nice model. Again, very much like the artwork. Again, maybe it looks a bit flat. Maybe it's just the render. Assuming I think it is probably a render. It looks a bit better in the other poses, but there's a nice bit of dynamism in the model. But again, you're losing that. This is blending into the cloak a little bit here. The symbol, bit flat, bit shallow detail. It's nice. It's nice, but I think it could be nicer. I'll be honest. I do think this could be a bit. It's weird. This area here looks very, very flat across his torso. I think I've got to put this guy in C. Unfortunately, I don't know. It might just be the render. This guy might get moved up again, but I think this guy's going to go in C. Something just doesn't quite look right about it. But as I say, this is just my opinion, my vision on things. Next one looks like the Trench Pilgrims. There we go. This is the Trench Pilgrims. I converted some of these again. I don't think they look quite as good as... I think these are very... I like the ragtag kind of... They're all wearing sort of tattered clothing and something very sort of feudal and primitive about them. I think these do look better than the ones that I made. These nice models, 5 of them. If I remember correctly, these might actually be multi-part as well, which will allow you to do a bit more with them. I think there's much more to say. Again, very evocative, very of Trench Crusade. I think these go at B. I like these. Alright, next up we've got the Death Commando from the Heretic Legions. This is going in A. I'm just going to tell you right now. This is going in A. This is so awesome. It's kind of like somehow like almost like Castle Wolfenstein, but from the First World War, come to life. Absolutely incredible model. I wanted to wait for the official one of these. I didn't want to convert one or anything like that. Yeah, this is absolutely incredible piece of work. This is going straight into A tier. The Wretched from Court of the Seventh Serpent. I presume this is your foot soldier sent out there to die. Weak. It's alright. Not much more to say on it, right? It's got some nice scars on it. And it would be able to use to paint with a little bit of a nice red or magenta ink or something. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I don't think it's doing anything special, but I think it does what it does perfectly well. I don't think there's anything to not like about this model. Hopefully you don't need too many of them because if they all look a bit the same, it'd be a bit of a shame. But it's going in B. This is fine. Okay, next up we've got the War Prophet from the Trench Pilgrims. This lady is not messing about. This is awesome. This is absolutely awesome. There's no two. I mean, look at these bells on the back and the cross and everything like that. It's just this is a beautiful piece of work, and you can see you've got the grain in the wood, and this should come out if they're using decent sort of anything above 8K 3D printers. I would expect you should be able to see this grain. If you can't see this grain and this texturing on the robe in your model, then you should probably be asking questions, because I think that should come out. That's not something that's unobtainable. But yeah, you've got the bells everywhere and the cross, and you can just imagine her walking out making proclamations from the scroll. She's got loudspeakers here around her head. Yeah, this is awesome. This is going straight into A. Straight into A. There's a couple here that make me wish I'd gone for an S tier, but I didn't. So yeah, there you go. Alright, next up we've got one of the big boys. It looks like a Sultanate one to me. It is one of the Lines of Jabir. It is a Line of Jabir. Sultanate of the Iron Wall. There's something about these bigger models that just isn't quite working for me on a detail level. Again, the tabard down here is quite thick. I've seen them painted up and they look nice, but I do think they could look slightly better. Again, I think they've been a little bit... Where they've tried to recreate Mike's artwork exactly, they haven't necessarily thought about how that translates into a model on all of these. And although it looks nice, and I've seen it painted up and it looks nice, I'm going to put this at C. It's fine, but it's not something that blows my skirt up exactly. So, moving onwards. This is fun because I can't see these because they're too small. So I'm just basically playing match the silhouette from the very small thing that's on screen. These are the Heretic troopers from the Heretic Legions, oddly enough. I converted some of these, but these are lovely. These are really, really nice. Again, just like the artwork, but it's worked better here. You've got the teeny tiny little demon fetus type thing there. Again, GW like, oh god, no! Yeah, these are really nice. I think these are well done. Again, quite evocative. Is it a coincidence these guys got the slightly more German looking helmets? Maybe. But yeah, these do what they need to do quite nicely. I think these are perfectly fine foot troops. I don't think these were multi-part, but they could be, looking at this. I don't remember. If not, I think there is a multi-part version. But yeah, these are nice. These are nice. These are going into B. I need to get on with this because otherwise we'll be all day long. Still got about 20 to go. So, next up, we've got, these look like Sultanate boys to me. The Janissaries. Again, I mean, these are awesome. I kind of wish that they'd maybe sort of done these individually so we could really get a look at them. But these are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So much detail on the armour. So unlike anything else we've seen. That's one of the really cool things about the Sultanate of the Iron Wall. A lot of places don't do this kind of, it's almost like a Turkish, Abyssinian kind of Arabish kind of armour type look. Very cool, very cool. I think I have to put these at A tier. I really do. There's nothing about them I don't like. And there's a hell of a lot about them I do like. Yep, he's going to A tier. Next up, looks like some unfortunates. It looks like some unfortunates indeed. And it is the Grail Thralls from the Black Grail. So these are kind of cool. I mean, again, I don't think the vendors really help them. Very twisted, very much like they're not like these stupid poxwalkers that you get from GW. These guys look messed up. You know, this is stuff that GW, if they were to attempt to do anything like this, then they would look very, very different. They've obviously gone for a kind of a comedy bent with Nurgle, which just doesn't work for me at all. This kind of does work in a way. We're going to look at them individually. This guy at the top is all right. There's not a lot going on. I don't. I mean, that would be a D model for me. That one would actually be a D model. Second lad, all torn apart. Almost got like a thing going on here. A thing going on here. But again, it's not everything I think it could be. I think it could be more detailed. I think it could be more grim. And I think it's just the vendors maybe. Bottom left, guy with Jeff Goldblum bursting out. Again, he's all right. It's nice and gruesome. It looks good, but I think these could be better. And then we've got the guy in the bottom right, and again, he's pretty good. I mean, if I was to rank these individually, it'd be like a D, a C, between a B and a C, I guess, and a B. So you know what these are going in C. I think they're okay, but I don't think they're that great. I really don't. I think I've got a lot of Bestarium, and they make better of these. They make better thralls than I think we've got here of Trench Crusade. So these are going in C, and these are like low end of C as well. I know you're supposed to put these in the order you like them individually, and we maybe have a look at those in a minute. I don't want this to go on forever, like it already is. So next we've got some dudes with a flag. It's these guys. It's these guys with a flag. The Azebs from the Sultanate of the Iron Wall. The flag is probably the worst bit in it, to be honest. I think that could be better. The flag isn't. It's not on my flagpole, put it that way. But the other guys look really cool. You've got these awesome, like, sort of gas masks. Yeah, these are nice. But that said, compared to the other stuff, they're not amazing. And because I'm going to run out of room in B, these are going in C. I mean, they're okay, but yeah, they're definitely down the latter end of the pile. So next up, we've got the Heretic Priest from the Heretic Legions. This guy is 100% not a Chaos Sorcerer. No. Oh wait, no, he is. He really is. But I like this. This is nice. This is a nice model. Again, I maybe could have done a bit more on the old detail with it. It's a little bit plain looking in places, but it certainly does the job quite nicely. The Chaos Sorcerer similarities are undeniable. This is the closest to something that GW would actually make. So he's going in B. Next up, we've got one of the big boys. It is the Praetor from the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent. Pretty awesome model. Sometimes I think it's a little bit... I mean, there's bits that I really like. I really like the body, the tail, the chains. All that looks really cool. I look at the wings on the back and they're a little bit... I don't know. I almost wish they were a bit smaller. It's almost like they over-dominate the model. I do wonder if they'll be separate, actually, because I will be getting one of these, because I mean, it's a really cool model. But the wings on the back are definitely my least favourite thing. If you didn't have those and you had something a little bit more... I don't want to say understated, because obviously it's the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent, not meant to be subtle, but just something a little bit more in keeping with the front end of it, I think. This would be an A, but as it is, I think I'm going to put this in B. Could change later. Could change to very low A, but yeah. The Pit Locust. This guy's awesome. Absolutely awesome. I wish I provided like a few more. I've seen the 360 of this guy. Looks amazing. Really nice. Painted up really nice. You've got some like almost Egyptian theme going on here. Exactly like Mike's artwork. Very unlike anything else we've seen. This guy's got to go into A tier. Heralds of Beelzebub from the Black Grail. Again, this is very messed up. Very. It reminds me quite a lot of the stuff from the Crimson Court in Darkest Dungeon. So I do think it's a really messed up model. At the same time, the wings are a little bit thick. It's all a little bit all over the place. It's far from my favourite, I have to say. Unfortunately, Black Grail are probably my least favourite models. This is going, for me, and it's just personal taste, but this is going right down the end of C tier. And I will sort these tiers out in a bit, but yeah, right down the end of C tier for me. This probably my least favourite model in the range, if I'm being completely honest with you. Next up, it looks like a Brazen Bull. This guy, awesome. This is so cool. So like with some of the others, like these big scale, haven't got the amount of detail that I would expect them to have. And this one could perhaps have a bit more. The gun in particular looks a little bit flat, a little bit, not enough going on there. These stars here could certainly have a little bit more detail on them. But overall, I think this model is really, really nice. Lots of cool details, lots of cool armour. There's a little Star of David on his chest. Yeah, there's a little Star of David on his chest. Yeah. These are very nice. These, I'm going to put this at the top of... No, I'm going to put this in A. I think we've got too many of these for me to individually go in and rank them in the tiers. Will be all day. But yeah, A for that one. Next up is the Warwolf. This is just amazing. The only thing I don't really like about this is the head. I mean, the head, though it's proper messed up and weird looking, it just doesn't quite work for me. But the rest of the model is just absolutely incredible. This is another one that I didn't convert up myself. I did think about it, and I've seen some nice conversions. This one, I was just like, yeah, I need one of these. So he's got to go into... do I like him enough to put him in A? Or is he like just the top of B? He goes towards the top of B. I told you it's my first tier listing. I'm not very good at this. It's another Sniper Priest. This is the non-blind version. And again, this guy, really nice, really evocative. The face on this is brilliant. Really like this guy. You could say about, oh, you could put more detail and stuff like that on it, but these are just tattered robes. They're not going to have a lot going on. Yeah, this guy's really nice. He's got to go into... I'm going to put him with the other Sniper Priest right at the top of B. Next up, it looks like another line of Jabir. This one I like better than the other one. The other one went into C. I think this is a much better model. It helps. There's a lot more armour on the arms. I've just seen it. He's got 6 arms. I didn't notice that before. Yeah, this is a much, much better model. The other one went into C. This one is like a high B, maybe even an A for me. I'm going to chuck this in A. I think that is so much better. If I was given the choice between those two, I would pick this one every single time. Right, next up, there's a Trench Priest from New Antioch. Yeah, nice model. I don't think he's as nice as the Prophet from earlier, but I think he's perfectly fine. Again, going a bit flat. I'm guessing these are just renders, and it's a bit harsh to judge them on just renders because, they could be not quite, true to what you get. You might lack some three-dimensionality and that kind of stuff. I think this guy's perfectly fine. Again, very evocative of the artwork. Love the King Arthur-y almost helmet that he's got going on there. Lots to like about this. He's going straight into B. Okay, next it's our second stigmatic nun. One has decided that clothes are for losers. Maybe she's right. Just like the artwork. Absolutely incredible model. Again, maybe a bit more could be done with the axe, but it's just a render. What can I say? If you like your nuns wearing slightly less clothes, this is for you. She is also going straight into A tier. GW don't do boobs anymore. Bang, straight into A she goes. Just checking sort of in the middle of Crusade with a friend. Actually, we'll put it next to the armoured one, because I think they're both as good as each other. Right, next up, we've got the Diabolo looking Sultanate from the Mercenaries. This guy is nice. I think paint is needed to bring the most out of this guy, certainly. Over bones, you know, sort of on his tabard type thing. There's a load of detail in his back that I really wish we could see. There's like corpses or something. But again, yeah, a bit flat. I'd like to see a bit more detail. I mean, printers really are capable of a hell of a lot of detail these days. And this just looks a little bit lo-fi to me, a little bit almost unfinished, I would say. Almost seems like an unfinished version. I'm going to put him in C. He's, yeah, high C, but a C. I think, you know. You just replace one of the other ones. It's a bit rude. No, he didn't. Right, okay, cool. I told you I'm no good at tier lists. Right, next, we've got the archer-looking dude. Hunter of the Left-Hand Path. Yeah, very cool model. Very cool model. All sorts going on here. Again, the bit on the back, the cloak, just doesn't quite work for me. I mean, sometimes you expect them as gaming pieces, sometimes you expect them as painting pieces. I feel like it kind of falls in between. But there's nothing egregiously about this model that I don't like. Again, very, very true to the artwork, very evocative. Let's chuck him in B. Running out of space in B. When you've done these tier lists before, does it just go down a level? I'm presuming it just going to go down a level. Kind of feel like I should just get rid of D. Cool. Right, next up is a black Grail piece by looks of things. There's a lot of tumors. You see, this is what I'm talking about. There is so much detail going on here. I mean, you've got the guy behind catching this. Look at all the filigree on these. And this is the kind of thing that is going to just absolutely look incredible and pop. At the same time, it's black Grail, and I just don't think they're quite as great as I'd love them to be. But yeah, this guy looks cool. I mean, I can see some great stuff being done with this guy. He's going in B. He's going in B. Let's speed this up a little bit. Let's speed this up. Next up, we've got a big boy. It is an amalgam from the black Grail. This one I don't like. I'm sorry, this is a mess. This is one that would go in D if I'd kept T. Yeah, I mean, a good paint job may well be able to save it. You can see all the bits, it's made up a load of stuff, it's kind of gruesome. Kind of reminds me of like the obliterators from 40k. This doesn't work for me. This just does really kind of look a mess to me. So this is going to bottom C. This is one that I would have put in D, potentially. This is one of my least favourite models. But moving on, we've got, in order, the Anointed from the Heretic Legions. These look great. I love these. I think, yeah, these look absolutely awesome. Very, very cool. A lot of potential for stuff on these. Nearly out of space in B. French tickler codpiece. Yeah, A. French tickler codpiece for the win. Right, next we've got the different version of the heavy mech infantry. There's not enough different about these to put them anywhere else where I put the other ones. And I put the other ones in B. So these are going in B. It just drops down a level. Cool. Next up, also in order, Combat Engineer from the new Antioch. It's alright, bit plain, proportions look okay. Big stubby hands. It's alright. It's great. I think I'd convert one. He's going in C. Next up, we've got Janissary, Sultanate, leader model. Aha! The Yubzai Captain. With his girlfriend. Just great. This is awesome. The Sultanate just knock it out of the park for me. I wasn't considering them as a faction, but the more time it goes on, I'm just like, yeah, these look so cool. A, all day long. A. Put it next to the Pit Locust. Looks amazing. Heavy mech infantry with guns. Guns pretty cool. I'd stick him in A, but he's heavy mech infantry. He's going with the other lads. They all look good together. Boom, like that. Last three. We're almost there, guys. The Anointed from the Heavy Legions, again, with a gun instead. So cool. So cool looking. So much detail on those muscles. Like flayed muscles. A crest with these symbols and stuff on it. Cool looking flamer. Yeah, these are definitely renders. You can tell from the shading down here. Will it look better in real life? Maybe. Don't know. I don't feel like him as much as the other ones, though. Oh, he's got a little baby. He's got a little horned baby, almost rebreather type thing around here. He's going in A. A. Next up, one of my favourite models in the entire range. I'm telling you already that he's going in A. There's no other place for him. I just need to find a picture to show you all. There he is, the communicant from the Trench Pilgrims. That's awesome. That is so cool. A, high A, all day long. Let's put him next to the Nuns. And then finally, the last one is the Shrine Anchorite. It's like they took a dreadnought and made it more religious and more badass and more messed up and like an Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden? Excellent!
High A. Boom. There we go. So, I mean, looking at the list, I'm fairly happy with that. There's maybe a couple that I would move about, certainly within the tiers on reflection, but I think this has gone on long enough for just a little silly video that I've put together. Let me know what you think, guys. You know, I mean, this is what I think, but I'm not always right by any means. But I think, yeah, I think overall, I think the range is really nice. There's certainly a few that I think could be a bit better, and I am just judging them on renders. You know, some things look a lot better in the flesh, but with the Pledge Manager coming up real soon, any factions that I would be going for, the A's are an instant buy. Even like the A's are basically at the level where even if I'm not doing the faction, I would pick it up to paint it just because I love it. You know, it's really cool. The B's are also pretty great. Few in there that not as great as the others, but they're all pretty good. And then the C's are kind of like, I think we could do better. But you know, I didn't make them. I haven't made anything like this as of yet. So who am I to judge? Well, I'm me. And as I say, if you disagree, that's what the comments are for, guys. So, till next time, I will catch you later. Bye.